Hi there, my name is Christine Eck. I'm the director of the Center for Sacred Window Studies. It is my great pleasure today to be here with Dr. Bharat Vaidya and Anupama Vaidya of Ayurved Sadhana. Ayurved Sadhana is an Ayurvedic school in Superior, Colorado. And thank you both so much for being here with me today.
It is our honor and pleasure.
And thank you, Christine, for calling us over here and doing this interview with us. Thank you.
Of course, of course. So I was first introduced to your work through Yisha Oakes, and who we have in common, Yisha being the original Sacred Window School founder for postpartum care with Ayurveda. And Yisha was so inspired by your work, and you were able to help her by providing Ayurvedic education through her school. I would love to hear a little bit about how you and Yisha connected.
So actually at that time, I was teaching at Rocky Mountain Institute of Yoga and Ayurveda. And I was their advisor and senior faculty at that time.
And Dean.
And at that time, Isha actually was part of Rocky Mountain Institute of Yoga and Ayurveda. And she was giving some of the courses, okay, which were postpartum related. And she was in one of my classes, okay. And she loved that class so much, which was focusing on some of the issue of the postpartum, okay. And then she also came to know that I did my BAMS, actually my BAMS actually more 2 years extra I have studied, because it was wish of my dad also that if I would like to understand Ayurveda better, for 2 years I should study the Vedanta and metaphysics of Ayurveda. Okay, so when Isha came and when I talked to her and show her, and plus I was having also background of the OBGYN with the human sexuality studies from one of the very prestigious European house, Catholic University of Leuven, Flanders, Belgium, which is the oldest Catholic university in the Europe. So Leuven, Oxford, Cambridge, Bonn, Cologne, these are very prestigious European houses. And I studied there for 4.5 years or 5 years and did my MD in OBGYN combined with human sexuality studies. And she loved it. Okay, this both the background together. Plus, when she came to know that it was my great-great-grandfather who established first modern college of Ayurveda during British Raj in Bombay in 1896, and she heard about the struggle of the revival of Ayurveda. And it was not with one community. There were many in that struggle, okay, including Sir J.D. Hooker, Sir James Watt, Father Nunn, Father Estrello, Hakim Ajmal Khan, and Gokte, I'm meaning senior Gokte, Bapalal Vaidya, and so many. So she loved it more. And then we started to talk and mingle more. And then I talked to her about how this program should be developed. How the midwife program should be, doula program should be developed. What is the proper framework? And why I was able to guide her in that, because Prabhuram Jivan Ram, son Dr. Popat Prabhuram, was also graduate from Grand Medical College. He established first Department of Ayurvedic Midwifery and Ayurvedic Nursing Study in Prabhuram Ayurvedic College in 1902.
So that's a background behind the whole postpartum
doula thing.
Right.
Yeah. So, and many nurses at that time and Ayurvedic doula, or you can say Ayurvedic midwives, graduated from Prabhuram Ayurvedic College. Okay, I'm talking about early 20th century and late 19th century. Okay, And then one day what happened? So we were already in touch, all these things. We were continue communicating. She was calling me. I was calling her.
She will call you for her clients, which are having anything problem.
Ayurveda client that Dr. B, these are the problems, how I can solve this problem. So I used to guide her. Then one day particularly she called me. I am having now my lecture in the University of New Mexico, and tell me something logical, Dr. B, before I enter the lecture room. Okay, tell me something. So I said, look, you can tell them, okay, when they are asking you the vata or air element, and when you are explain them about the postpartum, I said that you can tell them that how vata, which is kinetic energy, can play important role. So I gave her the example that after 4th month, woman is having 2 heart, one her own and one heart of her fetus, and constantly communicating with that. Okay, when baby is getting birth, when we are doing push, what we are creating, we are actually helping the kinetic energy of vata or air element. Okay, because as per Sanskrit or even the law of the physics, nasti gati vina vatam, without air element, nothing can move in this elemental space. Okay, so when push, woman does, and that air element, okay, it bring out the baby, okay, with the force. And then same air element goes up, okay, and takes out the placenta, okay, and throw it out. Now that force is so profound that it literally creates tornado in the woman's body.
In the womb.
Okay, and if you are looking at modern OBGYN, it takes 6 weeks for our heart to come to the normal shape, size, or rhythm.
That is okay. That is the OBGYN says it also.
OBGYN, okay, so that is a modern OBGYN, and I compare. And she said, Dr. V.
So how Ayurveda is also doing the same thing, which is thousands of years before.
Okay. So when I said, she said, Dr. V, I love this. And this is so practical and logical that student will be so happy. So she said that I would like to create Ayurveda program, proper Ayurveda program. And that's how
more fundamentals of Ayurveda
and everything. So we have created, and I help her to create the proper Ayurveda program.
Oh my gosh, it is so great to hear that story and how you were describing how you answered her question. I remember hearing in Ayurvedic school about that 4th month, that magical 4th month, where they would call the woman two-hearted because between baby and parent, it just gives me chills. And looking at Vata dosha, this kinetic energy is really the force behind birth. And it's no wonder that, of course, Vata is elevated during these weeks postpartum.
Yes.
Here we look. And I discovered Yisha when I was in Ayurvedic school. I was pregnant with my 2nd child, and my first postpartum time had been pretty rough. And I connected with her, and immediately I hadn't heard anybody talking about this before. I was out here in Massachusetts, and here was this woman in New Mexico who was teaching. And I just distance internshiped with her and soaked in all the information I could find and gather in time to prepare myself for that 2nd postpartum window, which was leaps and bounds different from that first time, simply by understanding this kinetic energy of Vata and how, if we pay attention to it, we can completely transform the experience.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and how the gaseous exchange is taking place, okay, between the mother heart and the fetus and placenta, and how the Krishna by Redkar, the one of the prime midwife, okay, who's graduated from Prabhuram Ayurvedic College, she compared the placenta with ghee, okay, of the woman womb or that red temple and how. So Prisha loved this concept, and she especially also loved that so much cream of history behind it, which we have no idea. Okay, because he told me that I said no, this is all the struggle and those traditional Vaidya and those formulas and everything. When she heard, she said, this is what we require, we need this knowledge, Dr. V. Okay, this is what which was lacking. Okay, and if you can step in and tell the true story of the revival of Ayurveda at the same time, support for the woman and the baby, and can help us to create the future healthy generation.
Yes.
Okay, bring the healthy generation on the mother earth, which can fight against any kind of bacteria, viral, fungus, or any infection and infestation. Okay, what Sushut says, Bhuta Bhishangatva. Okay, she said, I want it, I love it. And then communication started so many times. Anytime she will call me and, Dr. V, how this course you would like to give, and what this course structure we should have, and what about how we should go with this. And I am having this patient and she is suffering from this.
So a lot of communication happened. It was very constant. And then she came and said that I do want it. When Evi and Dr. V, you guys are cooking over here or making some of these things which are from scratch. I love it. It's a simple recipe, but how you make it, it makes a sense. And then Dr. V will combine it and say that this is what it is for pregnancy, and this is for postpartum, and this is what we will eat it in this time. And we will tell the story about what it is and everything, and what are our experience throughout our life for the pregnancy or postpartum, and what to eat, what not to eat, and everything. And a lot of discussions will happen.
And at the same time, I told her that Ayurved never say you that you should be vegetarian.
That was another thing which she loved it.
Charak also put the mass work or the meat section also. Ayurveda is compilation of knowledge by various culture. It is born from the idea Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one family.
Yes.
And that is why it is still a living force.
So what I want to expand that one with the people who are like, we taught first or second class of postpartum cooking, and we introduced like a egg curry, okay, like a making from scratch, and then chicken curry. One of the student was mother-in-law of recent postpartum mom, okay, and she was like, my daughter-in-law is not getting grounding yet, okay, and so we made that curry, we gave it to her, and we told her that feed it to your daughter-in-law. She came next day back and said that, thank God you taught me something which is so valuable, because I'm going to make this particular dish and give it to her. It totally grounded her. First time since she has given the birth to the child, which was already 15 some days. First time she was able to sleep. Okay. So think about it, that Ayurvedic principles which were there, why we made it, we teach that thing, why we are eating it, what it is behind that sciences, and how you are going. We just talked about Vata element, correct? And how that grounding food is needed, and what are those grounding foods are. Okay, so that is what the very much like a essence of Ayurvedic lifestyle for postpartum, those 42 days, 45 days.
And how it can control the air element, how it can control the helping the fire element, how it can help the water element. At the same time, how it can work through the liver, hepatic duct, and pancreas, how it can help to come to the heart on the stable condition in proper rhythmic exchange. All these things, when combined with some of the best view of the modern medicine, and then compare with Ayurveda, and on the top of it compare with those traditional Vaidya's recipe or knowledge, okay, then she said that this is what I was looking for. It is my unfortunate that she is not here. Otherwise, I would have never started this. over here.
We were very comfortable what Isha was doing and supporting her on the backside. We were like, okay, we will do these certain classes and you do the other ones, and we were happy with what we were having.
Yeah, we were. I would have never started Ayurved Sadhana or this postpartum doula, but it is unfortunate that she left us. Okay. Yeah. So that is our interaction with Isha. Go with your second question, madam.
I think we took a lot of this.
Well, I could talk about this part all day, but no, I agree. I mean, one thing that I was thinking as I was listening to you share is, you know, it's just so, it was so shocking to me when I learned about all of this, that our culture has no connection between food and recovery.
Yes.
And so, you know, we've been talking about this in our program too recently, about how, you know, it's nourishing rasa, and rasa will take care of all the other dhatus and tissues.
Rasa and rakta. And I told, and I you have no idea about how much I fought that ice cream and jello and ice chips are not postpartum food.
I know.
Okay.
And is it just a shared that screen is there, or is there a video of ours also? Or I do not know. That's why.
No, you're on here too, but I am going to stop sharing this, and I'm going to plug this in because I forgot to do that, and I don't want to.
Okay, go ahead.
Or, let's see here. That would be awful to have the computer run out of batteries in the middle of our conversation. Well, thank you so much for sharing with me about that connection with Isha. I didn't know that story, that whole backstory, and I'm so pleased to hear
I literally remember the day she was sitting over there and we came up with all the, me and him already had discussed what are the recipes, and she's like, I just want you to be, both of you, to be part of the Sacred Windows. And we were like, yes, we are in there, you know. So we were very happy to do that.
Yeah. And I said that, see, that if we want to create the curricula of Ayurvedic practitioner or Ayurvedic doula, it should be proper frame of curricula with lot of idea of research and development, and the knowledge which are from those traditional Vaidya, which is gone in time, but now it is a need of time.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, here I have seen the students are more interested in innovation.
Something new.
And something new. Okay.
Keeping the traditional roots, but then innovate it as you need it.
Okay. And for example, let me tell you one thing, that this Tuesday I was teaching the class of Nigantu. Nigantu means Ayurvedic herbology or botany. Okay. So we were talking about bamboo mana, the plant. Okay. Now, one thing which many in Ayurveda knows, okay, I have no idea about what other school over here, but even India also many people know about it, is that Vanshalochan, okay, or Tabshir, what Unani physician used to call it, or Hakim, and Vaidya call it Vanshalochan, which is coming out from the joint of the bamboo, female bamboo especially, which is highly rejuvenative, 90% silica, okay, and one of the best rejuvenative material. Now this knowledge is exist. Let us go in that time that Sir James Watt noted in Ayurvedic Botanical Dictionary in 1889, page 365, that leaves of bamboo they were using to treat cold in horses.
Horse.
Okay, because it is of hot property. Plus, women were using it as a abortive. Farmers in Porbandar were using it to expel the proper and early placenta from the cow. Okay.
So in case they needed that much.
So one of my students who is taking care of the horse ranch on the mountain in Europe, she is using this, and her boss told her that after you came my visit to veterinary doctor cut into the more than half, and she told me, Dr. V, your knowledge in the bitter cold on the Alps, I am putting bamboo mana leaves with the food of the horses, and that is a key which has reduced the cold or the allergic reaction in the horses.
It's amazing. Yeah.
This is what actually I believe that here, when I share it, students just love it.
Because these are the type of things you need to try it. Like these are the old formulas, but then you can practically use it for the current situations over here.
Mm.
That's the one thing.
Which create
She has a set other questions.
Hotness, and the way you say in rasa and rakta, okay, the what I can say, that good pitta or the fire, dhatu, dhatva, agni, these are some of the old formulas can play the amazing role. This is one example I gave you. Okay, my dear.
Well, it's so beautiful to understand that, you know, this science is thousands and thousands of years old. We don't even truly know, you know, it's information that has truly come from the universe itself. And so when we can realize that we can still apply it to modern families experiencing different issues, and, you know, whether it's postpartum, whether it's any human experience, we can learn so much from these ancient plants, from the concepts or the idea of looking at plants as having just gifts for humanity, basically. And when we know them, and you know, that's the issue. I think that in our modern culture, we're so disconnected from what does this plant even do? It's just a plant, but we can look so much more closely and have a way to support the human experience, in our case with the postpartum window, in ways that are so gentle and so accessible for the body to work with.
Yep, and that is a need of time now. Okay, so when you talk about it, the knowledge of plants, so when actually Indian Medical Council and British government filed a lawsuit against my great-grandfather, that being an allopathic doctor, he studied in Grand Medical College, that you cannot practice the Ayurveda or open the Ayurvedic college. And the same argument he said, what you are telling me, that unfortunately the knowledge of the botanical plant and medicinal plants are abolished in allopathy. I don't know, sir, how and why. Because most of the medicines are coming from the plant only, but average medical student doesn't know that from which plant this medicine has been originated.
And the fact that in so many allopathic medical schools, they're not taught about nutrition.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah, that is a missing piece. Not necessarily everywhere, but most of the.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your next question?
Well, I'd love to, you know, you were speaking a little bit about one of your ancestors, and I would love to know a little bit, you know, you have this family history of being a teacher. Vaidya means teacher, and I would love to know how this has sort of guided you on your personal path and what that means to come from such a line of teachers.
Actually, to tell you very frankly, that for me, being from this family, path was more harder. Okay, so because I am from the family which does not compromise, to tell you very frankly. My father or my grandfather means, and so you have to earn it by yourself. Okay. Yes, we can show you and guide you the path. Okay. So my great-great-grandfather, Vaidya Prabhuram Jivanram, established first Ayurvedic Institute in Bombay in 1877. And then turned that institute in Ayurvedic College in 1896 with his younger son, Dr. Popat Prabhuram. who is my great-grandfather. His elder son, Sir Vishwanath Vaidya, studied, he was a profound scholar of Vedanta and Sanskrit, and studied in Middle Temple in UK, Bharat law in those days. And he propagated Vedanta and Ayurveda at that time in Europe and Germany. And he was one of the pioneers also to bring the Masonic Lodge to India or Bombay. Okay. So then Dr. Popat Prabhuram, then he introduced, so Prabhuram Jivan Ram actually went into Mahasamadhi in 1902. And his Mahasamadhi is still there at Ban Ganga, Walkeshwar, Bombay. Exact spot, the small temple is still there.
Yeah, we still go and visit when we do take our students, we still go over there and visit that one.
That this is a pioneer of one of the of Ayurveda. Okay, he was one of the considered as a revival of the Ayurveda. He brought the Ayurveda from years of darkness. Okay, and when he talked about the Ayurvedic principles with Dr. Carter, Dr. Manser, Dr. Hage, okay, and try to show them the beauty of this Ayurvedic principles. Okay, so he was one of the excellent healer, Ayurvedic Vaidya, physician, and excellent communicator also. Then his son
wrote many books.
And wrote also many books. So his Ayurvedic text, and unfortunately, almost all his Ayurvedic texts are in Europe or in England. Or England or in Europe, yeah. So when we went to England last year,
we did visit
the British Museum and King's Library London, and his book Forceps Used by Ancients of India, which he authored in 1882.
We saw that.
Then
amazing.
11 Upanishads, then Sharandhar Sanhita, and in Sharandhar Sanhita actually one of the comment was written by Max Muller, who was a great scholar of Sanskrit. Okay, so most of his book, and his son Vishwanath Vaidya, who also wrote a book on the treatise of the Nyaya Shastra, okay, which is also either in British Museum or in King's Library London. Okay.
We saw that.
We saw that. So he authored many books also. Yeah.
So this is the kind of even his father was a doctor.
So after that, Dr. Popat Prabhuram, he introduced this Ayurvedic midwifery course and Ayurvedic nursing course
in Bombay.
Bombay. And his son, Dr. Pratap Kumar Vaidya, he studied in St. Bardanu, St. Xavier's, and then Grand Medical College. And then he went to the University of Dublin. He studied tropical medicine, and even served in Second World War as an ambulance man. And he also studied Ayurveda from Prabhuram Ayurvedic College. So Dr. Popat Prabhuram also studied Ayurveda with Vaidya Prabhuram Jivanram. Then Pratap Kumar, my grandfather also, and my father also studied both from Poddar Ayurvedic College. He did his DASF, and he was the only one who was selected in St. George Hospital. Okay, so he studied under Anglo-Indian doctor, Dr. Dhyanchand Pardhi, and Dhyanchand Pardhi also allowed him to practice some of the Ayurvedic medicine with the patient in those days in St. George Hospital. Okay, and he was using, my father was using so much Ayurvedic medicine. Okay,
almost 80%.
80%. And I was his assistant from the grade 7th, when I was in 7th grade in high school. Okay, middle school. I was his assistant.
Wow.
Okay, so him, then his friend Dr. Kishore Mukati, okay, all these doctors who were doing
Ayurvedic doctors,
Ayurvedic,
went through under.
I went through all these people, and then family used to publish one of the Ayurvedic newspaper, Ayurved Jagat.
That's still, we do have some copies of Ayurvedic Jagat.
Ayurved Jagat means Ayurved World, and which was started by Pratap Kumar Vaidya in 1943. Ayurved Jagat was only newspaper which was accepted by WHO to write it pure review of its pure review of its publications. Okay.
And only Ayurvedic articles they will take it from Ayurvedic Jagat to go to WHO.
And those were some excellent Ayurvedic articles. Okay. And in the same Ayurved Jagat, there was an article written by one of the students at that time come to meet Dr. Pratap Kumar Vaidya. Okay. So from America, US. So his article is also there in our archive. Okay. And then I wanted to study further. So I studied Ayurveda. And then I told you that my father told me that I want that if you want to settle down as a respected citizen, I want you to study further in the West. Okay. And actually about the Western culture or literature, my father, my grandmother's in our house was also there. It was there. Okay. Best of both, East and West.
Yeah, mixture of everything.
Okay.
So that's what.
Yeah, for example, Clark Gable, Gary Cooper, or Charles Dickens, all classic, O. Henry, everything. So I came to Yale, and then one of my teacher, Dr. R.E. Schopp, who was a German, he recommended me to Catholic University of Leuven, Flanders, Belgium. And then I went to Belgium and did my MD in OB/GYN combined with human sexuality studies. So and my boss over there was Professor Dr. Pitt Nees. He was my advisor, and good thing that he encouraged me to write an essay or publish an essay, because in our school there were 4 small publications every year, and then after a degree is finished, okay, we have to publish our own thesis. Okay, so he encouraged me for this knowledge, and he valued it also very well. So they never stopped me to talk about Ayurveda or Vedanta, to tell you very frankly. And for me to study in Europe or Belgium, it was academically and humanly very enriching experience. I enjoyed some of the very good festivals over there. And of course, I enjoyed Belgian beer and Belgian chocolate.
You know, I'm trying to imagine you as this, 12-year-old boy assisting your father in his medical practice. And
I think it will be like a lawsuit happening in US. So not in US, it is
right,
in India.
Of course. But
definitely.
You raised in a household where this is just the way of life, and this is. Did you ever feel like you had a choice to not go into medicine? Was it sort of expected?
No, actually, yeah, that means that. I don't know, it was I've seen it every day in front of me, okay, every kind of patient. And I was making the Ayurvedic medicine, okay, or the medicine, and he will make me sit and understand me, okay. So, and plus my second language in my high school was Sanskrit.
So all the books you can read it in Sanskrit for Ayurveda.
So if you will look, take in my classes, if you will take, I have a lot of Sanskrit and then translation in English. Sutras from the old classics, okay? So it was already written, okay, Vaidraj. And
Vaidya,
okay.
Vaidya means actually physician.
You know
like
that. You know that. Yeah.
Ayurvedic
And
physician.
I am proud that I am Vaidraj. I am Vaidya. And I am tell to the people, yes, I am Vaidya. That is who me.
So Bharat, if you would have not been the Ayurvedic doctor or the MD, what else you would have done? Like a history?
Yeah, I would have done PhD in history.
I knew it. That's why I was asking that.
Yes, if I would have been not in medical field, I would have done
He loves history.
PhD in history. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I notice you have an incredible memory for dates,
Yes.
details, and that's not everybody has that. Certain people have a brain that can retain that, and it's almost, you know, it's beautiful.
No, and
so
you know
I would love
Christine, well, you know what is Christine? What is the now time is? Christine, now time that truth should come out about history of Ayurveda, its revival, and those Vaidyas who devoted everything, like so many Kaviraj from Bengal, Calcutta, and all these Vaidya, they should be recognized and truth should be established. No building can sustain on the lie. Okay. So that is what I'm always say, okay, to my students.
Let her go next
and wait
question.
a minute, and lot of things we can learn from that knowledge.
It's so beautiful and it's so true. And I think when we understand the history of what it is that we're passing along, what the history is of the teachers that we learned from, and who did they learn from, and where did they learn from, and when we can recognize and be able to see that pathway, I mean, number one, the integrity of the knowledge is upheld, but also there's like a subtle change, I think, in the way that information affects one.
So if you anytime visit our house, we have like at least 7 to 8 bookcases tall, 6 feet tall bookcases just with the books, and books are maybe like 100 plus years old.
Oh my gosh.
People will ask that, people will buy like, oh, all that Indian food or something else, they will bring it from India. We brought our books back. And these are the books from his dad's and his great grandfather, and everybody's in their library, you know. So in that house we were having it, we brought those books back. We didn't bring anything else.
Wow, what a gift. That's amazing.
So like wonderful books are there.
AV, I want you to tell me, how is it that you two came together? Because you have such an amazing partnership in your school, and it's just, you two are just, I love speaking with both of you right now, and I'd love to hear your story.
So just to say that, but is like my sister, my older sister, which is 2 years older than me, she entered into the Ayurvedic college. Is the same college when she was freshman, Dr. V was doing end of his internship, last year of his internship. And so Bharat will be, as Bharat, you know, active, everything doing and everything happening. He will get those fresh students which are coming, first, second, third year students, get them together and try to do the student council or student association, okay? And then he wanted that all these Ayurvedic students not just learn that how the Ayurveda works, but I want them to be get the practical knowledge. So he will have set up the medical camps, okay, throughout Bombay, you know, and then he will want to have that connection so that they can actually come together, but at the same time, their parents know about it, you know, all those people who these students are coming from their family, he wants to make it sure their parents, those people are involved in this community service, you know. So he started coming, he came and visited us, correct? And my sister is like just a freshman over there in that college in Ayurvedic. She's also doctor back home in India. And when he started coming, and he will come whenever the camp is there, he will come and visit our house. He will go to everybody's. But then that's how we started knowing each other. And then at one time when he was ready to go back to Yale, then Yale University, he was coming, he asked me, and I was like just entering engineering college. He was graduated from his whole Ayurvedic practice, Ayurvedic degree, and then coming to Yale for the MPH. And I was like, whoa, okay. I was like just being a friend with him and everything. And then that's how our connection started, basically. And it was not a very soft path. We have to fight our battle with our parents, even though we are on the same level of thinking and everything and other things. But my parents were not very ready about the marriage, to tell you this one, because he's from the different, not a caste, but he's from the different language, different food, different everything, compared to what I am from our state. So that was the difference. And eventually we fought that battle and we won and we got married. So we will be 30 years marriage in September.
Yeah.
So that is what it is.
So his sister, her sister used to come with me, and one of the active member of the Student Medical Association. But we were running at that time, and we were doing free medical camps for needy and poor people in the slums and around the Bombay at that time. Plus, I used to bring the movies from the British Council on malaria or something to show them.
Like a documentary.
So, documentaries and different thing. Okay, so and that's how we came in touch with each other, and then the rest was actually the history. Okay.
So that's what background is coming together.
Right, it's a great story, and you have this school. You're co-founders of this beautiful school. And how does it feel to be sharing this project together and teaching together?
So I tell Bharat, and Bharat, correct me if I'm wrong, I tell him that you do beautiful, wonderful way of teaching. He knows how to teach, like way. People just love his teaching. Okay, so all the students will be like, oh my God, Dr. B, you connected the dots and why you provided, what it is, everything. So that's the reason. He was like when Isha was there, okay, we had a one meeting. Do you remember that meeting with Suzanne Rupike and Vanita was there, correct?
And Isha told me that Dr. B, the best thing about you is that you are giving the student their why.
Yes, the every time you can just say that, oh, this herbs works, okay, but if you can provide that why it works and then give the explanation even with the scientific way, then people are very good about it. So that is what his main attraction is, and he can do that one better than anybody else. Okay, so we divide those things. Even when we were like talking with Isha that I didn't want to make the college. I work full time till now, so I was like, Bharat, I don't want to have that extra extra responsibility on me, so I was not ready. So he was telling me since 2010 or something, we need to make a college, because he wanted to have that syllabus what he want to offer to the students. He want to make it sure that student gets a proper education, So that's what he was. And then when Isha came, we were like talking to her. We even proposed Isha that you can be the sacred window and we can be the one, which is, we don't need anything. We will have our program is as offered by sacred window, which is like just she can do the Ayurvedic doula, and then we will be just Ayurvedic practitioner programs, and that was we were talking about, but that didn't work out because I think one of the person didn't want to, not Isha, but other person.
No, but Isha actually left us. Otherwise,
Isha did leave us because it was like,
because with Isha it was a lot of things. Okay, we were communicating. I was communicating in person also.
Yeah. So eventually,
hard luck that she left us. Otherwise, I was also not planning to come with the college or anything. To tell you very frankly,
we didn't want to.
But one thing I should like to tell over here, that I was trying from since 1988, since my tenure at Yale, but the first actually chance I got to talk about Ayurveda in Boulder YMCA.
So he started doing the small lectures
in YMCA, and director of YMCA was actually public health postgraduate lady, and she said, Dr. B, she talked with me that I think you are the right person. So that is how actually it was my this one, okay, which was a long time, it was coming out, okay, we
He
wanted to
wanted
come
to
out,
teach. So
okay.
he considers he does
Not
balance
only
with the
teaching,
teaching
but the
and
knowledge
everything,
of
knowledge
all the
giving.
things, okay, and the right knowledge. So I am thankful for that.
Yeah. And then I do the part where I love to teach cooking. I love to make hands-on things. So I love that one. We divide, he can explain everything about the whole formulation, dosage, contraindication, indications, and everything. And I love to make and show everything to everybody. So that's a way which we divide. And second thing is that I love to, because my mind works with the strategic planning and then executing that one. So I will be the one which is like, okay, can I get the, like, like getting the students and the working with the students and connecting with them and all the things which goes behind the admin work kind of thing. So I'm okay with that one. So that's how we divide and conquer.
It's so beautiful. You have a very complementary
Each
style
other, yes.
of running
Yeah.
this.
I mean, I will not teach what he teaches over there because that's not my cup of tea.
So what do you want people to know about your school before we part ways with our interview? I would love to give you a
Yes.
chance to just share.
So one thing which I want to do it, and he may have his intake also, the doula course which we have it over here is that, I mean, I went through the very hard time when my second pregnancy was done here in US. And pregnancy was good, postpartum, like when the delivery was happened good. And I almost died in hemorrhage. I did have I had a lot of blood lost. After the baby was born, vaginal birth, very nicely, everything. And I went through only Bharat was there from family and my older son, which was like 7 years old that time. And it was a difficult time which we went through. And when I look at it, and we were in Mobile, Alabama, and not many things were available in that time in online. Like, can I get a herb? Can I get this? Can I get that? Not many things were available. I was ready for it, but after hemorrhage, I did not take a blood transfusion.
And I was with Dr. Madonia in OBGYN.
Yes, so it was very difficult time which I went through the postpartum. When I was there, I was like, and we found the reason why it was happened that time, but it was not that current moment. Those months we went through the very difficult time, and we wish that we had a doula over there, somebody who could have taken care of me or the family and everything else, and then supported my health. I didn't even have a strength to stand up and just walk to the restroom. I didn't have a stand up, like a sit down and feed my child. That much breastfeed. It was so much, my whole strength was gone. Luckily I was survived, but it was not. And we understood after maybe like 2017, we understood that I was having two alpha genes. I am having two alpha genes missing. Because of that, my blood cannot coagulate fast enough. Because of that, even the smallest scratch would have been done in the uterus, inside the wall of uterus when my baby was coming out. It must have so much blood just keep on flowing through it. Okay, it does not coagulate. Even if I have a small like a cut, I will be bleeding for 1 hour, just a small scratch. So that is what I came to know in 2017. But before that, I never knew. I went to the very difficult postpartum hard work. I did not go through the depression because Bharat made it sure that I was grounded. I was having what I needed. He cooked for us and everything, he did it. But I wish that what is the importance of Ayurvedic doula is what I need to know. I want that people should support their mom, like their wives, their daughters, their daughter-in-laws, their sister-in-laws with the Ayurvedic doula, where this knowledge is available for us, correct? We are giving this knowledge with practicals and everything. Now you think about that, how many people must have lost so much jobs in this now current situation? But going back, and when the jobs are not available, I understand that, but still we are going to have a more births coming up in December time period or November time period. Think about it. You want to work into the 9 to 5 job or whatever that job and earning the minimum payment, or you can be your own destination. You can make it your own destiny and actually work with the clients who require your services, who can be able to pay you, who are going to be respectful for you for giving that one, and then adding that one, not just doula, but as a Ayurvedic doula. So that's what I wanted. One person, if can take the Ayurvedic doula training and then help another 10, 15, 20 clients in their lifetime, or maybe 100 clients in their lifetime, that is what I wanted. Okay. It's not just money. It's not just what it is. I want that you take one gem from it, one recipe from us, one something from it, and spread it out. Then it will be so many people will be accepting it and then doing it. And I know it is not a very easy task. It is going to be difficult. Okay. But I want it that even if one person can do that one, even your school can support that, we can support you, and it will be a very good, it is for our families, it is for our future generation we are doing this for. That's what it is for.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I could not agree with you more. And I also feel like when someone receives that type of care, then when their grandchildren are coming into the world, it's a no-brainer.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. That is what our vision is. That is why I was like, I'm not going to throw all this material which we created, Bharat, for Sacred Window. I'm not going to throw it away. We should be. So when we were doing practical practitioner program and advanced practitioner, we were like, what are the missing pieces are? And that's why we came together. And then, so the course which we have, it also is a Colorado State approved course. So whoever takes that one, it is occupational course which is approved by Colorado State. So that gives you the leverage also, so that's the one thing. Okay. You have something intake on this one?
My intake on both practitioner and Ayurvedic doula program, that this is futuristic science, okay? And this is a science of Mother Earth and Mother Universe, okay? Or Shiva and Shakti. And if students are looking for something new, on something on what they can do, some research and development, something exciting, okay,
and
something practical and healing, okay, yes. At the same time it is more nature based, okay, and which can even in day-to-day life they can apply, okay. So many medicine from pantries, so many medicine which grows around us, because we have the class which is known as Western Nigantu, or the herb which grows in West or America or Europe, okay. So those herbs were also studied by traditional Ayurvedic Vaidya in those days, okay. So all this knowledge, okay, which can come out, and we can more, rather than depend on the chemical medicine, okay, if we depend on the natural medicine, if the student want to bring their own product out, okay. So it is exciting, it is with the fun, with the knowledge on the path of healing, love and peace.
Yeah. I think that is what it is, that you should get a satisfaction
and
from what you are doing.
What you are doing.
That's okay? What it makes.
The student should feel that, no, what I'm learning is exciting. What I'm learning is something new. What I'm learning,
and they can use it for the other people
to
heal,
bringing healing, okay. And I combined with modern medicine, because modern medicine is also not bad. There are a lot of good things in modern medicine also, okay. So combine the best of both and create the beautiful lotus out of it, okay, for our future generation. That is what I mean. And that is what, one of the main thing is that combination of the healing modalities. It is a time now.
Integration,
medicine, okay, and create the beautiful healing system.
That's gorgeous. I love that. Thank you so much, both of you, for
Thank you,
sharing
Christine.
your
We
story.
are glad to see that one again, you, and definitely I do have your syllabus and I'm looking at it, and I will reach out to you separately to talk about it. No worries about
I'm so glad to continue our collaboration, and I'm so happy to share your story. And thank you both.
it.
And
Thank you.
most welcome from bottom of my heart. Okay. And if anything else we can do for you, okay, I can do for you. Most welcome, Christine. Okay. Most welcome.